You may be seated.
Hello, Your Honor.
Hello.
This is a case of Taylor versus Jackson.
Thank you, Jerome. Good day, everyone. Mr. Taylor, you say your fiancée, Ms. Jackson, dropped a bombshell on you when she was 9 months pregnant and told you that you may not be her child's father.
Yes, Your Honor.
She later changed her mind and said you are Raymond's father.
Yes, Your Honor.
And while you're hoping he's yours, you're here today to prove that Raymond is not your biological child.
No.
Ms. Jackson, you admit to an affair during the window of conception with Mr. Green, who will join us momentarily, but you are in court today to prove to Mr. Taylor that he is your son's father.
Yes, Your Honor.
So, Mr. Taylor, what is riding on today's results?
Well, this relationship, I've been through too much. I've done too much for the kids. I've been there since day one, raising this kid, fathering the kid, clothing the kid. I do everything for this child. And the only thing that I do know is that if this child ain't mine, I'll be walking out this courtroom today a single man.
You all are engaged. You have a family together. So there is a lot at stake here.
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you understand, Ms. Jackson?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
In your opinion, do you believe he has a right to doubt this?
Yes, I do, Your Honor. I believe that he has a right to doubt it because I gave him the right to doubt it, but I feel that he knows how much I care for him, and I am praying today that these results show that he is the father of Raymond because our relationship is riding on it.
How did you end up cheating? What happened in the relationship that drove you to do that?
A few years ago, we just packed up and we moved to Florida for a fresh start, and I met Mr. Green in a shelter. And we ended up becoming intimate, but Mr. Taylor left me and my children stranded in Florida while he went away to, I guess, chase his dreams, knowing that we had nobody and knowing that we had nothing. And I felt alone, and I felt as if I had no one. And I felt that Mr. Green was there for me when Mr. Taylor was not there for me.
Mr. Taylor, did you leave her stranded?
Yes, for a job opportunity in Atlanta. You gotta understand, it was my girlfriend and our kids in a shelter. I couldn't do nothing there because it wasn't no job opportunities in Orlando. It was one in Atlanta, so I went for it. I tried to get in contact with her. When she was there, she was at a youth shelter. She was at a youth shelter, and at the youth shelter...
He didn't try to get in contact with me.
At the youth shelter...
I tried to get in contact with him. I didn't even know that he was in Atlanta for 2 days. I was blowing his phone up, calling him, and he was like, well, you're gonna be upset when I tell you where I am.
You're lying.
And he was like, I'm in Atlanta.
Wait a minute, wait. So he left for a job because he said he couldn't find work.
He left for a possibility of a job. He left because he felt that there could be more opportunity of a job here than it was in Florida.
The point is you moved to Atlanta because you thought you could make things better, to get a better life.
No, I knew I could make things better, and I did.
And you did.
He didn't.
I did. When I called to try to reach for her, she was having an affair with Mr. Green.
I had no one to turn to but Mr. Green. Mr. Green was the person that was there for me.
What Mr. Green did for you? I've been here taking care of these kids.
Mr. Taylor didn't send any money.
Raymond got my last name. Where Mr. Green at?
Mr. Taylor didn't send any money while he was away.
All right. Let me hear you one at a time because I want to understand this.
This supposed job opportunity that he had, during this job opportunity, he never sent me or the kids any money. We barely had any contact with him. There was no one for me to turn to but Mr. Green. He was the person there for me, giving me emotional support, you know? That was what I needed at that time.
So how long after Mr. Taylor left for Atlanta did you turn to Mr. Green?
A few weeks.
3 days later, she was pregnant by October 12th. I left September 14th. That was less than a month.
No,
that's a lie.
I didn't do it right away.
Ooh, I'm so mad.
If he would have never left us there in the first place, this whole situation could have been avoided. If he would have just been a man about the situation. Be a man about the situation.
He didn't have no money.
Leave a message.
Kids was on the verge of getting taken away.
I'm going to go.
He's saying,
but
Ms. Jackson,
when I left,
you never sent no money.
Let's get some order. Let's get some order. When he left, he says he left to get the job, and he said he tried to call you. Do you believe he just left and never called? Is that what you believe?
Yes, Your Honor. I'm certain that he did. I received every other message from the shelter. I received every other message.
So when you're at the shelter and you're not getting messages, in your mind you're saying, he just left us.
I was calling him as well, Your Honor. I was blowing his phone up for 2 days straight, leaving voicemail. I was calling off of another resident's phone, leaving text messages. So if he turns his phone on, even if he doesn't receive the voicemails, he received the text messages of me asking him where was he at. Right. So he knew.
So the bottom line is, you thought you left to better the family.
Yes.
You thought he just left.
Yes.
And so then you get involved with Mr. Green.
Yes, Your Honor.
Were you all deciding to be boyfriend and girlfriend?
Yeah,
Were you just having
boyfriend and
a sexual relationship?
It was a rebound thing, Your Honor. It was a rebound. He was going through a situation with the mother of his child, and I was going through a similar situation with Mr. Taylor. And we connected on that level because we were both going through the heartache of losing someone that we cared about and still wanting to be in that relationship. You know, it wasn't right, but it was emotions at the time. You cannot control your emotions when you feel that you want someone and you know, I want Mr. Taylor to be there, but I couldn't have that at the time. So I felt that I wanted someone there to care for me, Your Honor.
So because I left to try to better the family, that gave you the justification to cheat? Because you were still in a relationship
We weren't technically together.
Yes, we was.
If somebody leaves you and your kids with nothing, you're technically not together. You don't have to say we're broke up for us to be done.
So you saying if your husband leave out of state for a job opportunity, y'all single?
If you want more episodes of Paternity Court, make sure to subscribe and click on the notification bell.
I left September 14th. She was pregnant on October 12th. Now you tell me, you know how long it takes to conceive a child, right? You know how long it takes afterwards to find out that you're pregnant. It takes a minimum of 3 weeks. So it tells you that she was intimate with him within a week of me leaving. To her to find out by the 12th, 28 days later that she was pregnant.
In your statement to the court, you said you didn't learn about this until she was 9 months pregnant?
Yes.
Explain.
Well, a guy that was on Facebook, he inboxed me, basically telling me that LaJoy was pregnant by Mr. Green. So that was my first time even hearing about it. I confronted her.
Now, have you talked to her? You've been talking to her on the phone?
Yes.
And she's never mentioned I'm pregnant?
No, but I confronted her about it.
We didn't have a lot of contact with each other.
Yes, we did.
And I was still having a lot of, emotional depression over
our
our relationship.
Facebook contact saying it was Umar Jr. though.
The only reason that I did that, Your Honor, is because I felt as if I was holding on to the last strand of our relationship. I knew that if I told him about Mr. Green possibly being the father, that he would be gone and there would be no chance of us. So I wanted to try to have him for just a little longer. I love this man. This is my heart. I should have thought about his emotions too, that he was gonna get attached to the child. And, I didn't think of that. I just put myself first. And I told him, I tell you all the time that I love you.
I wanna understand this clearly. You're 9 months now. Mm-hmm. You didn't find out she was even pregnant.
I found out she was pregnant, but I thought it was by me.
At the 9-month mark is when you learn about Mr. Green.
Yes, officially.
When does she change and flip the script and say, now it's Mr. Green's?
I got incarcerated for driving without a license, and I was only locked up for like a day. And then I got out of jail and went to go see her, and that's when she told me about it.
And then what was your reaction?
I was mad. I didn't know what to do.
And so at the point you told him, Ms. Jackson, what you just needed to lay it all on the line,
It took me so long to tell him because that's hard. How do you tell somebody that you love that you did them so wrong,
If you love somebody, how much you want to do them wrong?
Everybody makes mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes,
That big of a mistake.
Everyone makes mistakes, even though my mistake was a great mistake. And if I could take it back, I would, Your Honor, but I can't. And I pray, I'm praying that he is the father.
While I was gone and she was pregnant, she was trying to get Ryan the whole time to be with her. Be with me. Can I name the baby after you? I put this on my daughter, man. She had a Magic Jack app on her phone. When you on Wi-Fi, you could text people. She was texting him. She was asking, can I name the baby after you?
Who is she texting?
Mr. Green. Can I name the baby after you? This, that, and the third. Mr. Green saying, no, won't want no parts. And then when I come around, since he don't want to be there, after she pursued to try to get him in the picture, he didn't want to, she throw me in the picture.
That's why I believe. He knows
What? That's
He
true.
knows the situation behind that. Your
Man,
Honor,
whatever.
I was messaging Mr. Green because I knew that he was potentially the father of my child.
Whatever.
And yes, I was messaging him trying to be on his good side because I didn't want us to be on bad terms.
How did you see her messages? You looked through her
I
phone?
went through her phone.
And you could see it all there.
I can't trust her.
Jerome, it's time for me to hear from Mr. Green. Will you please escort him into the courtroom?
Right up here, watch your step.
Mr. Green,
How you doing, Your Honor?
sit up straight for me in
Yes.
court, young man. You did have a sexual relationship with Ms. Jackson.
Yes,
Am
ma'am.
I correct?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
What was the nature of that relationship?
I guess I met her in the shelter, and she when I met her, she told me that he had left her for a rap career in Atlanta, just left and didn't want nothing to do with her, had nothing to do with her, didn't want to take care of the kids. So I'm
You
sitting
heard
there
what
and I
you just
feel
said,
bad.
right?
So I was sitting there, I feel bad. She got 2 kids. So I sat there and I felt bad. We vibed, and then I was going through stuff with my baby mom at that time. Then it went to and then it got to a physical level. When we left the shelter, I just got I got my place, my condo, 2-bedroom bathroom by myself. I got that. So I told her that she can come stay with me because I don't want her on the streets. The whole time she be laying in bed with me. I look over, she messaging him stuff.
Really? You see
the
that
light,
she's
right?
messaging Mr. Taylor.
Yeah, I didn't really know what for. So I didn't really care. But like I said, she told me he didn't care. He stranded me down here with the kids. He don't care about the kids. So I'm assuming like it's all right. It's what it is.
Yeah.
So, Ms. Jackson, it sounds like you saw this as a potential relationship.
It was a partnership.
Hey, Shaq,
But, Your Honor, I was financially unstable. After I left the shelter, I didn't know where I was gonna go from there. So, for a
So,
month.
okay, now I want to understand this. You move in with
I
Mr.
know.
Green.
Yes, Your
I
Honor.
know.
At what point do you go back to Mr. Taylor?
when he dropped her,
No, he didn't drop me. I left.
when he dropped her,
No, I left.
when he dropped her,
So wait a minute,
know
Mr.
the
Green,
story.
is that, how you know the story? From
because
the text,
too much
you saw it
clues.
on the phone?
No, too much clues. I'm an intelligent person, Your Honor. Too many clues. Too many clues. Everything I'm saying is
Your
some
Honor,
clues.
this man
Just
thinks
like
he's
this
the
child ain't
smartest
mine.
man in the world.
Just like this child ain't mine.
He knows
I'm
it's a
quite more smart
possibility.
than you.
Hold on, let's not get out of control. The story is, you did ask her to leave the house.
We got in an argument. Everything went downhill from there. And after that, she had to go. I'm not gonna lie. Took stuff, put it outside. I don't have.
Your Honor, he is crazy. This man is crazy. I left, Your Honor. After the argument, it wasn't that he put me out and put my stuff out.
How did you end up back with Mr. Taylor then?
When I went back to Michigan, we ended up talking and we got back together.
Was this before or after Raymond was born?
This was before. This was while I was just,
While she was still telling me it was mine.
You're back now with Mr. Taylor during the pregnancy.
yes, Your Honor.
And the child's last name is Taylor.
Yes, Your Honor.
After she asked him, can she name it
That was-
Ryan Green, and he wasn't going for it.
So you did get a text that asked, can I name the
She
child?
Blow
bothered
it
me
down.
for 2 years trying to get this.
Blow him down.
I haven't
Blow
had
him
any
down.
contact with him since
Blow
my
him
son
down.
was
I
a month
wish I
old.
could put up my
Blowing-
Facebook right now or messaging you trying to ask me to get DNA test. Stop stunting on, please.
Right, that
Please.
means you're a deadbeat. If
Please.
you know that you're a potential father, why wouldn't you want to take a DNA test to see if this your child? That's deadbeat status.
You should know who the father is. That's your issue right
Wait
there.
a minute.
Because I'm here and he
It's
here.
about you.
Why?
You know that
Maybe
you're
you've
a
been
potential
faithful to me
father.
when I issue.
Let's get some order. Ms. Jackson, I thought it was our understanding that you believe Mr. Taylor was the father.
Your Honor, I don't know which one is the father because
Okay.
I had sex with both of
all-
them. around
That-
the
that
time.
is.
Thank you. That's
She don't
what.
know.
That's
Well,
it.
knowing that-
That's why we're here, just to tell the truth. So the bottom line is you really don't know. You
Yes,
told
I
him
know.
he was the father. You messaging him as well
Telling him he the father.
because you don't know.
Yes.
Okay, that's the truth. You
like-
signed the birth
Did.
certificate.
No, I didn't. I'm glad I didn't. I'm glad I was away from me not to sign it because I probably would have signed it and probably would have paid child
But
support.
now,
right for a child that
Mr.
ain't mine.
Taylor, you have stepped up to the plate
Yeah,
and you
I
support
do everything.
the children.
I do everything for all her kids.
Thank you.
Clothes, I got that. Food, I got that. They want to play, I got that. I'm their best friend. They all tell you. They play with me more than their own mama. I'm the playmate. Daddy, let's play. Let's play fire truck. Let's play dinosaur. Let me climb on your black. Let me play tickle claw. Little games that we made up.
And if this child is yours, after hearing the testimony presented today and understanding that a few more clues have come together in your minds,
Yeah.
T.
can you then still work on this relationship?
Don't do it.
I don't know.
Mr. Green, what if it's determined that Raymond is your biological child? Then what?
then it's my child. I want something to do with the child. I don't want nothing to do with her. That's dead. That ain't nothing.
You're a deadbeat.
You don't want a daddy, you want a permanent babysitter for your children, all right? You want to be able to go
No,
out.
I don't.
You don't want
I don't
no
need
father,
a babysitter.
all right? You
I don't need a
that.
permanent baby.
All right,
All right.
let's calm down. Let's go to the results. These results were prepared by DNA Diagnostics, and they read as follows. Do you want to watch Paternity Court on TV? Go to paternitycourt.tv to find your local listings. In the case of Taylor versus Jackson, when it comes to 3-year-old Raymond Taylor, as to whether his biological father is Mr. Taylor or Mr. Green, it has been determined by this court. His biological father is Mr. Green.
I figured. That's fine. If that's mine, that's good. And I respect you for being there.
I was about to say, you got a good child though.
Ms. Jackson, I know that was not the news you wanted today. So where do we go from here?
It's over.
Ms. Jackson, I know you were hoping that the result would be different today because you wanted to save your family.
Your Honor, I honestly don't know where to take it from here.
That's why I'm here. You're seeking comfort under the covers. When something goes wrong, when you feel fear, when you feel scared, you jumping in the bed with a man because maybe he can save me. Baby, you got to save yourself. And I'm telling you this woman to woman. There comes a time in life when you just say, self, you got to put your big girl panties on and you got to get this done. We have resources for you. We have counselors. We have psychiatrists. We got it all. Start talking through this, all right? I wish you the very best of luck. Court is adjourned.